previous series is something to go by. And Mirrors and Heat caused a lot of problems for Envy. Sean was discussing that. Actually, look at this. We've got Crashies and Ye tucked up in a pretty deep spot here. Ye going to take first contact, but effectively baiting for Crashies here. Unnoted as of yet. That's certainly where my eyes go towards. Again, looking towards KRÜ to lean heavily on, obviously, Kesnet and Nags to find similar success. Find these opening duels and actually capitalize on them very, very quickly. KRÜ actually...
They're being herded.
Yeah.
Feels. Crashies is still here. So that's the ace up the sleeve. And Ye can kind of be a little bit more aggressive, kind of put himself on the line a touch more. Reconfirms their intent, but loses his life for it. Kind of wide on that peak around there. Does give an option again to Nags, who's been playing very well, and Crashies now going to have to fall off that angle. Doesn't quite get as much as I'm sure he'd want to out of it, but Victor wants in, going to at least put himself on towards sight. Now, they're not fully aware he's here, and that's going to probably be a huge problem. Spike now lost. You're going to see now a little bit of an issue beginning for KRÜ, because that wall is just keeping them divided.
Yeah, and Spike fully in control of Envy here, so looking to try and reinforce it. Kisnet will actually find Crash. Look at that, FSN swings round though. Find another one. Kisnet finally has to dismiss away though. 15 HP, and Victor will find the final kill. Envy will post the pistol round after conceding first blood there. The owl drone also spotted Crashes out.
Yeah.
He had to give that up. They came back in with an actual head count disadvantage there. So fair play to Envy, but the important kill being a Spike. They were able to put that wall back up. The poison orbs there as well, just to make absolutely sure.
And I love the fact that Victor found this room. That's so important, and I'm surprised no one even considered that or was able to deal with that at that time. Putting so much faith in that Spike to be planted uncontested and as seen, instantly exploited, instantly pressured, and even then following that up, FNS finding some great timing to kind of play back through, just kind of in all that mayhem. But we go again. Second bite at the cherry here. Oh, dearie me, Crashies, you're a brave boy. Well, he will lose his life for it. Maybe not the ideal start. Ye did eventually get that punish, and I'm looking at Ye to be a big influence throughout this game. Again, his ability certainly noted in the last couple of months. Truly starting to look good. Lovely little 3K there for them. Again, this is, you know, Eco Cobra time.
Player standing.
So we don't get too excited yet, but Klaus, the last one alive, if he can cost him one more weapon, I'm not against it.
Certainly, I mean, looking at the
There we go.
Bulldog and 2 Spectres here remaining. FNS actually
FNS,
creeping under this. I think he's
dude.
completely unnoted. He's going to get behind.
Oh, he's
Spot out, Klaus. Take contact from elsewhere. Again, dealt with.
very nice.
Well managed by Envy. And again, look towards Ye to be the one to contest those opening duels time and time again. Again, setting a precedent almost. Forcing KRÜ to be a little more cautious in the early round, because we know obviously Mitch was leaning on it the other day heavily. Nags and Kesnet, they like to hold down the W key. They like to proactively find these, usually pretty dry, honestly. It's not on the back of any real set pieces or flashes. They will swing.
And look, I think other games have learned to know this sort of fiery style coming out of LATAM, coming out of like Brazilian teams, especially any of that region you're looking at to see, okay, can they now replicate this to a successful standard? And they have already once, but Envy's a different beast altogether. And Victor's off to a belting start. Lovely beginning there towards Nags, and that's an issue. That's a rifle now. Depleted, as is Ye found Maz. So this is starting to look a bit worrying here. This is
Ye's got to.
And Ye's the one with the rifle. He got that lovely little upgrade for himself here, and he's got so much room to play with. He has just locked them in, and they're going to start closing that net. B-Long's also got pressure as well. You can see that they've pushed themselves up here, so they're giving them a tiny amount to play with. deltuc gets noted in towards middle and Envy. Haven't seen players ready for this. deltuc, though, does get the fair fight on this. They're willing to put their life on the line. Why not double face this? You got Spectres and they win the fight. This is beautiful from Envy. They looked shaky in their first game, Hypog. This looks like they've adjusted that.
Absolutely. Victor's still up here.
Oh, he's loving it.
Yet to be dealt with. Klaus will be the next victim. Victor actually going to try and satchel away, but Kesnet finally finds one in response.
Don't get throwy. There we go. Keep it nice and calm. Seen these rounds get a bit throwy in the past. Hopefully this is kept in check. And there's some Crashies. Oh, this is just not going nicely for Kesnet, is it? Nope, Crashies, gorgeous. Gorgeous work for Envy there. That is exactly what the doctor ordered, and what a confidence boost after that horrible start on Icebox previously.
And look to Ye to do this sort of thing, right? I mean, I'm sure touched on this perfectly, where kind of KRÜ look to get unorthodox. Envy aren't afraid to play that sort of style as well. And Ye to just be solo pushing through and find the anchor effectively of KRÜ's composition here whilst they're trying to take space elsewhere. Again, if Ye can replicate that, it's going to be scary, because KRÜ like to spread a little thin, and it's usually, again, a duelist that'll be out on the extremity almost solo, right? Not really with the support of Klaus and his utility. Victor again.
I'm liking what Victor's doing, man. He's already coming out confident, coming out hot. And this could be just a nice little confidence boost here up against Sheriffs and any armor. A little bit here and there. Yeah, okay, so it's not completely a light investment. There is a little bit of backing behind it, but Victor is not particularly backing down at all. And he's kept control here.
Well, this is to kind of strike fear in the early round. Ye again, going to find an opener. Nag's actually going to trade that back out. Well, no, they can close this. Mazzino actually going to find one elsewhere as well. So Envy will drop 2.
That's rifle recovered as well. I'd say Ye's is a little trickier, being just slap bang in the middle of mid, but that one is right on the money. So now FNS, the timing's everything on this. The swing, 3 around the corner. This could be big or it could be an absolute mess. And Mazzino finds it too. They're picking off these 1v1s. They're finding individual fights that aren't tradable.
FNS looking to prevent that exact thing from happening. The upgrade coming. Crashies once again.
The hunt begins.
He's going to be spotted by the recon bomb, but he has to swing to avoid it. We'll find one. Kesnet in position to find the trade. The spike will come through. Marved eventually making his way this direction. He'll find himself on a 1v3.
It's a great wake-up call. KRÜ sending out a big message here if they can convert this round. However, the last 2 players do not have rifles out. Ult is there for Nags.
Nags he just swept the rifle away.
There we go, lovely. Both of them finding upgrades now. That's a big difference here. Bigger challenge for Marved. I don't know how much he can get out of this one. Up in nest as well. Peekaboo, it's Nags. Brilliant conversion from KRÜ there. They are going to be chuffed with that. And what a way to, as said, tame Envy. Let's say Envy started to maybe get a little confident, feeling themselves, pushing up maybe over aggressively. KRÜ's got them there.
Well, to lose the bonus and then obviously kind of keep the reins on that economy, not allow them to actually slip away with an extra. Again, this pick in mid, you can see immediately the response from FNS. I think he's anticipating that very thing. Don't let them get another weapon for free. But KRÜ stack up. There's 3 bodies there, and actually the poison orb invested just to make sure that they can retrieve that. Well played by KRÜ to really hammer through. And again, that's on the back of...
I feel, NA fans, I don't know if you're up yet. So we'll see. Like,
definitely
KRÜ fans?
No way.
Yeah, so let us know. I'll be checking in on that if there is another tech or anything. So let us know. We are back underway, though. 3-1 as it stands. The buy is back very nicely with KRÜ after turning that prior round.
But look at the ultimates here. Showstopper, Bladestorm, Hunter's Fury, all available for Envy. So
right here.
Look towards them potentially to invest these. And actually, Team Victor pull back towards rafters here, and crashies sitting a little outside. Makes me feel as if Victor's going to look for a little blast back over default. Ye actually with the Bladestorm pushing down Tube right now. The 3 members of KRÜ backing away. Should catch this audio cue though. Ye should be close enough to hear this. He absolutely is, yeah.
He responded. You can see that KJ as well, just kind of leaning a bit closer.
Extra, yeah.
This is big information just off the back of those steps. Marved's on an island, but maybe happy with his holiday. Now, waiting for that swing. There. Oh, Mazzino just straight Ferrari peeking Marv down. And now Ye has to do something here. Has to be important. That's not bad. 17 HP, though, is low. The other ult has popped you.
Oh, no. Crashies caught Ye because he was so low HP. He was down to 15 HP, Lauren.
You hate to see it. You absolutely hate to see it. KRÜ didn't need help this round. They were already on one. So now Nags, Klaus, Kesnet, Delzik, all sitting happy. Oh, that's
a
to
shock
the feet. That could have been a rough one for Nags, but he's still fine. And here we go. Victor's going to pop ult and away. Try and clear back of yellow. Actually catches Nags. That's incredible. But there's still so many more layers to this, and KRÜ stabilized. Scoreline looking much better now. 2-3. 3 still alive. And they've drawn out so many of those ults.
I was going to say, that's a huge investment for Envy to throw it that round to try and recover it. And it goes a miss for them. Fantastic hold from KRÜ, though, again. Showstopper invested there, only finding one again. It's very difficult to close the distance there, but obviously very different to A site. There's no real cubbies to play. It's behind yellow, obviously back in that corner and towards B main. So Envy now going to suffer the consequences of that. A little bit of investment, but see if they try and capitalize on this by pushing a little deeper. Yeah, actually picking up this position on rafters. Actually going to find a fantastic headshot to Kesnet. The first blood once again in favor of Envy.
Nags trying to walk forward. So he does have crashes on that corner. There it is. Lovely work from Nags there. Finding crashes after that contact. Looking at what's remaining.
It's doing it.
Marved, Yay, FNS, and Victor. Still trying to hold towards the back of the site. And Patience now being toyed with, maybe seeing if they can offset that pace. See if they can catch Envy overstepping, potentially getting a little antsy. There's a lot of players here. Keep pushing this, and Yay, brilliant connection from the back of this. What? Yay! It's way too early for that. 1 HP and he's still popping off, I believe, for a second. That's a 1v2.
Marv coming through here. Spike.
He's got a rifle.
Yeah, we're going to do, but whether or not Nags and Maz will actually anticipate now with this internal clock ticking over, and they're pushing through to screens, Lauren.
But sometimes no information is still information. He can clear all this area pretty quickly. He knows no one slipped through this way, so this is still quite quick progress. But he still needs to find that first, and KRÜ dug it. First one! Success for Marved, and now the 1v1.
Mazino's got two
It looks like he's got a line up for it too. Marv knows he might be in a bit of trouble here. He knows it's a Viper he's up against. Mazino is just going to go for that time board. Up towards this!
Beautifully done.
Oh, man's got moves. They're fired up, boys. We've got a good start here for the LATAM side of KRÜ.
That ties things up 3 apiece. Again, on the back of Yay doing so much with minimal investment here to still keep this interesting. Again, the shot onto Klaus was beautiful. Followed up with a no-scope.
One enemy remaining.
Nice try from Marv, but again, like you said, that no information, again, that internal clock is ticking. The intuition comes. They don't even need to peek for the information. They have a really, really solid read on where Marv's coming from.
I love this. All of you at home, I love all the tweets coming in as well. Just everyone watching the game, kicking back, a little drink in hand at breakfast. Everyone's locked in for this because Nags is on one. He saw Victor's aggression in those early couple of rounds, and he's gone, all right, I'll see you there. Don't worry about it. But there's still Yay, always going to be a difference maker. Crashie's still kicking around, but Yay's still posted up quite aggressively. Now look how deep in response, though. KRÜ are happy to just peel that little further back.
Well, the back of Victor falling, this Viper's bit now should, I guess, quell any further aggression from KRÜ towards B, at least. Spike not committed. They're happy to sit for the time being. Nag's just looking for anything coming through, but Yay, again, that solo position. Pushed up towards Nest, and deltuc looks, I mean, aware of the possibility, but just holding for the time being. Spike drifting this way as well now. He's got a lot to deal with once again, Lauren.
It's all on Yay here. There's no one to back him up either. He gets one, falls away. Can at least sit towards the backside of that elbow. Knows there's more coming. Here's all these steps. He's calling for backup, but will he make it there in time? Ult now popped out. He's still locked in. Eyes trained, and he's in trouble. Klaus has got him for free. There's no one to try and dissuade this. Crashies was back sight, but at this point, Spike's going down.
And the Viper's bit popped in response as well. The lockdown actually comes down pretty early on. Will create a little pocket in the corner of sight, but KRÜ happy to back away from this. Again, Mazino with 2 snake bites, so the possibility to deny any plant coming through during the lockdown. Envy now man disadvantage to fight back through.
This is going to need some real magic to come out. FNS looking for the first fight, doesn't find it either. deltuc happy to sit towards the backside of things. First fight won for Envy though, but it's all effective tradings. And now Marv's in a dire scenario. Good shot on one, but it's Nags again waiting. KRÜ have done more than stabilize now. They've taken that lead and started to build.
Looking really good in the setback. Again, on the back of Yay drawing first blood, Lauren. So again, that's a big tick in the box.
Yeah.
Again, in terms of win conditions, winning these duels versus players on KRÜ that we've already talked about, how they're going to be willing to go hyper-aggressive. And that was a much slower round from KRÜ as well. Again, very, very slow, very methodical to come through, but the response is still there. They have bodies in place to follow up on that.
Yeah, again, trying to operate with 4 players, you know, on either side is pretty tricky. And the fact that Yay eventually was able to kind of even things out, but now we are on a little bit of a lighter bite. Still a rifle with Marved and some
2 tags as well.
Yeah, but again, right back up on pretty much full HP. Yeah, lacking a little bit of armor, but mostly standing, and the first entry. So Marshall's out. Marved, of course, finding his opposite number there. Back to a 4v4.
That's a big kill, actually. deltuc does have the res, so look for KRÜ to freeze for a moment. Yeah, I think Envy anticipate this as well. Not an awful lot to do to stop this one.
You will not kill my
So we'll get 5 back on the feet. Actually, Only FNS to hold down the fort on A site. See Nags encroaching towards him. And KRÜ are drifting this way once again.
Finesse, real crispy. They're still 4 alive. They got that res, they have the rifles, and now they're on the site. Bear in mind that Envy need to be kind of a little cheeky with it, find unorthodox ways, like Victor doing that. That's more than enough to get you a frag at this point. Now Spike is down, post-plant time. Marshall's on the retake, it's not easy, but Ye is making it look viable. Victor at FNS! These rounds, man, these like anti-ecos, kind of half buys, force buys, they're so dangerous right now.
Envy looking good at scrapping out with KRÜ, honestly, in some of these. We'll tie things up here 4 apiece with a thrifty round win for Envy. And Bladestorm popped back and yay. Again, how many times are we going to talk about them? Just doing work.
This was still, I'll take that.
Oh yeah.
Take that one.
Stopping that, just slowing it down on the way in is fantastic from FNS.
Good to see FNS having a nice performance here. Rifles back out on either side. Yay with that up. 4 on the trot, now broken. And for Envy, they need to get their kind of, I guess, comfort zone building in these rifle rounds, because once the rifles have come out, generally, KRÜ's actually been more on point in this. But again, quick start coming through here, and it looks like Nags wants to take that space. Victor is on the other side, and initially, it was Victor winning that duel, but the flip has come in. Nags has been pretty good at reading Victor's next play. Sees that little bit of a leg out of place, denies the satchel as well.
Victor looking to overwhelm. Marved here to counter peek it, but Klaus will find the entry. Victor will trade it out, but Kesnick good. FNS actually swinging through on this as well. It's a 2 for 2.
That's impressive for FNS. He had to put his life on the line to do that, otherwise it was going to be ineffective, but mid was taken in the meantime. And that's where Mazzino found all that room to punish those push-ups towards long. And it's put Ye in a very undesirable situation. But can they dance with the devil? Let's find out. Already Spike going to go down. What does he do with this? Up in hand?
Planted.
How are you going to dig any of these players out of position? I do not know. Trying to clear back through a mid. He knew that Mazzino was around here at one point, but he's already fallen back towards the others. Sitting for that post plant, I'm sure. So again, yay. I don't see any viable options here.
No, I think just a formality at this point, see if we can find anything, any freebies. Again, Mazzino got that fail-safe. 2 snake bites still available for this. Yeah, you're going to opt to hold on to this for the time being, and KRÜ already anticipating that. Oh yeah, you find anything here, actually. He's going to hear all these audio cues. Isn't it the first? I expect him to hightail out of that. KRÜ don't want to give any more away. Yeah, he definitely doesn't want to risk losing that. And again, it's Envy's willingness to come and play this game with KRÜ right there, but identify the FNS drifting all the way across from kitchen, just to reinforce around that. Because KRÜ, they show their hand very early. They're like, yep, we will fight to the death for this. And Envy this time around, see here, has to drift back away. I think he was down to 20-odd HP. Almost perfectly timed. Actually, Mazzino finds the space behind FNS pushing up elsewhere.
Yep.
Be interested to see if actually that's a reaction to obviously that support coming through towards B main.
Yeah, it felt like a bit of a Sophie's choice though for FNS. Okay, well I leave B long open. I can't do anything. Maybe I can get a trade, you know. But regardless, Victor now looking for a new approach. He's going to find mid. He's going to find delsic, and he's going to find 2. Klaus to follow, but an instantaneous trade. They can't find a clean trade out on this for Envy. Everything is looking good for KRÜ. Another spike plant comes in. Exit's a little low, but look at this lurker from Mazzino. He's still held that mid position, and yeah, he's had a terrible surprise. And this is looking like a problem for Envy. They are not finding ways in.
Actually, Mazzino pops the Viper's bit as well.
Wow.
He's going to cut off all of this area here, forcing crashies to reconsider his approach. See, Marved actually behind this play. Tries to spam in. Hazed tucked behind the box on site, though. It's like Envy. Completely unaware of the possibility. Marv finds one, Hazed finds one of his own, and there, Kesnet will find the final kill. Crashies will fall. KRÜ 6-4 ahead of Envy, and I think actually financially Envy going to be struggling, even though a couple of ultimates are now online. Might struggle to find anything here. Victor, again, 2 openers. With KRÜ almost is just like, we're gonna throw some in the tube here and hope for the best. And straight away the response is there. Showstopper, Hunter's Fury. Defense obviously no Bladestorm, but
look at the buy around it.
It's not comfortable.
Oh, it's a shaky buy. Nags it. First one to challenge towards middle. Frenzy's out, odds and ends, but Envy have won these rounds. I was about to say it, yay!
What the hell?
He's found 2 out of nowhere. Now, FNS can play up through towards kitchen. It ain't perfect, but he's got the spot out, and now they're all lined up here. Kesnit, don't do him dirty like this. And Klaus pulls back on through. Yay is being a difference maker here. Klaus, though, he's still finding bodies. A 1v2, not gonna happen. Marv, big deny. And Envy are winning rounds out that they just shouldn't be winning. This terrifies me.
Last round in the half.
I mean, they're ready to brawl. The interesting thing is finding this much success when they have lesser weapons. Yay again, coming up huge.
Down B.
Must be nice to have a yay on your side, you know? You take them.
Yeah. I mean, hell, don't be buying real rifles. This man's, dare I say, getting more with the budget up.
I mean, yeah, 3rd round, but I'm thinking, have they won a rifle v rifle round at this point? Because we've had some really weird turnarounds for Envy here, regardless, coming into that final round of the first half. Ops out again for Yate.
Poison's off.
Put in charge of that A site, but it's this B long play that's been a bit of a back and forth affair, mostly won out by KRÜ throughout the actual buy rounds. Hunter's Fury. Pop down as well, and crashies does find deltuc.
That's a big opener. Again, that's why whilst KRÜ are actually still set up in this default. Yay now. Mazzino just slipping past on the rope. Actually, I think he's just spotted him, yeah. Mazzino pinging it out here. He did spot a shoulder, a barrel, something.
Here.
There it is. But it was Mazzino was ready to trade that. If there was even a shot coming out, he was ready on it. Yay now forced to the back of the side, but this plays in crashies. But Mazzino again, these shots, man, these guys are so on it today. What have they had for breakfast? A 4v4 made advantageous now, but the trade instantaneous again. Nags, he's on the other side of the map. The spike's on the way, and he's going to go deep here. He wants control. Kesnit tried to get that mid-control, maybe deny the retake and maybe those readjustments, but not going to happen. Nagset is waiting, though. He is locking this one down. He's created enough space for that spike to make it to sight.
Hunter's Fury available as well, so if Nagset can find Yay here on spawn, it's huge, and actually Yay comes out on top of it. Klaus now in a 1v3. Yay pops a blade storm of his own. He's going to be spotted out here. Yay misses the first couple. Again, this is just buying time here for the rotation to come through. Spike gets tapped. Yay will find it. Envy will tie things up on the half.
Yeah, 6-6, but this has been a precarious half. Keep in of that. I'm so glad we got to see that from the POV as well, especially of how it led to that scenario. Great segment. Regardless, the teams are ready. We are jumping right back into this, and KRÜ's taking no breaks.
No, they're not at all. 2 of Envy fall off the rip. Victor and Yay down. Yeah, they will free threat. Actually, Marved will thread his way through up tube now, potentially catching Klaus, and this will make it interesting. Actually, if we can find this, nope. Klaus too sharp for him right now, so it comes down to FNS and crashies to try and recover this pistol round for Envy.
An opportunity for crashies. Keep in mind the light armor
Player standing. Here.
and the sheriff,
Spike
but
down A.
Nagset doesn't know how to miss. So crashies, good luck, my friend. You have 5 to find. This would be something of legend. That's one.
Okay.
All right, crashies, he's trying. But let's talk about who's the real victor here. KRÜ. They just came out. The shots these boys are hitting. They look like they've been playing for the last couple of hours, super warmed up. This is the first game of the day.
It's crazy. I just saw it. Yay at 17 and 9. I feel like we highlighted crashies as kind of a very, very impactful player in countering Muruz and Heat, obviously, in that series the other day. A little bit quieter this time around. I don't know if we could attribute much of KRÜ's success down to that factor alone. Certainly needed somebody to put up, I guess, some more resistance. I mean, Envy have looked so fantastic in some of these thrifty rounds, but it's on the buy rounds where they're actually just kind of resorting back to a more structured defense. And Mazzino going to be put on red alert here. He's actually spotted out 3 on the jump peak. Okay. Marv tried something a little cheeky. It didn't work.
Nah, it didn't. And the 5 stand, and look at the amount of space they've garnered. Even in the meantime, I love watching KRÜ, man. These boys have some flair. Now, Ye may try it on one. It doesn't matter. KRÜ are on it today. They're feeling themselves. That's a perfect start, too. That's just going to rip that scoreline just a little bit further away from Envy. This is making it difficult now.
Look to KRÜ to potentially do what Envy did in the first half, convert this third round. See if Klaus will actually throw anything in the mix. Kesnet, though, with that ghost in the previous, he's got a Vandal on the board, so I don't know, we see him get a little aggressive here. It's actually going to be 3 members of KRÜ stacking up towards B main here. Both duelists and deltuc.
They're so happy to do this, and you know it takes balls to play like this against fully rifled outside.
Straight away, Envy have identified it.
Yep.
They've felt this pressure down B main, and they will hightail it towards A. Ye will pick up the slack in mid, but Envy not messing about here.
Yeah, sat at the back of the site. We still have that Viper in play.
Helljohn didn't spot the Xeno.
That's pretty big. Now, maybe they still clear it. Maybe they still take a little bit of a look. There it is. There's the second layer. I like that.
Yeah.
Really good plan there towards it. Kesnet is also here as well. Envy is still struggling to make that final. I don't know what to say about these guys. They're all just hitting these mad shots. FNS, the first one to be brave enough to take the step back in. He does find Kesnet. He's spotted out a second. Swarm grenade not going quite where he wanted, maybe for screens, but it should do somewhat of a job. Crashies will get the spike down, and it's on Ye to be this backline. Be the thief in the night. Let's see how much damage he can get. None.
What?
0. Actually denied by Nags. And now it's a 4v3, but look at the weaponry. It's still a little weaker here for KRÜ, so don't think it's an easy one yet. These rifles may be able to keep them at range.
First we'll find another though. Nags quick with the trade. It comes down to 2. Crashies and Victor now. Try and get something done here. Victor finds the first, the second, a little laboured. Klaus will respond, the shock darts. The only thing left to try and stop this coming through. The first will do a little bit of damage, but not enough. One away from the Hunter's Fury though, so if you can get this, he might be able to deny. The Crashies comes up huge with the Red Bull clutch. Insane.
Certainly needed as well. Envy struggling in moments like that, but what a moment from him. And Crashies has been clutch throughout the last couple of games too. This was all looking like KRÜ were on for it. Bear in mind, they were still on the weaker weapons. They were still on Spectres and odds and ends. That called upon a big clutch from Crashies. And that laboured spray from Nags just opened up that chance. But bear in mind, the shock darts were on. He was doing everything just right.
I want to talk about deltuc and Nags having the initiative to actually sit and wait for Ye in that lurk, but Nags it again. The start of this round opened things up. FNS will fall. That's the spike noted very early on here.
Another fight here. Kesnet just keeping territory. He's not particularly overly committed to this, but he's sticking around towards Nest for now. As Envy take their time. That's not bad. He's going to at least spot the spike there as well. That's a big bit of information to relay, and there's no trade yet. Ye did eventually find Kesnet, who was fighting up towards Nest. Klaus going to at least spot another, calls it out to Nags, and he's going to find that.
This is third on the round. Crashes again, tries to come in. deltuc in position to greet him. Nags will find his 4th here. KRÜ will flip this right back again. 9-7. I think Envy going to be scrambling to get a purchase together here. Again, don't count them out. If that's what the purchase is going to be from Envy, expect them to still do damage.
But look how low it is. Like, the money's actually really bad.
Ye, one off the Blade Storm. Whether or not they can make a play for an orb in the early round here.
I mean, you've been seeing how postured up KRÜ are as well towards that side of the site. It's not like they're not... They're taking fights every single time on it. None of these orbs are particularly unchecked.
FNS solo on that belt swing with the spike, and Nags is able to find it and dip out immediately.
This has got to be double digits for KRÜ, and this is panic stations now for Envy. You're not expecting too much out of this round, which is reasonable. Yay. Blade Storm comes on. Victor's the one to actually get the frag, but there's still life in him yet. And Victor actually still finding 2. This is not how it's meant to go.
Oh my
Get out of him, Marved. Okay. If this is the round you've got to win, then screw it. Just buy Sheriff's Marshals and odds and ends. We'll take those. And there it is again, Crashies. The saving grace of Envy. Zero right to be winning that round. They had nothing coming into that.
Again, the fact that they're able to get the ult orb completely unpressured there. I think Mazzino maybe spots more than one head that he's happy with and decides not even to contest that. But again, the base orb's even burnt up here. I think there's a little bit of damage done on the side of Ye, but this one here, Marv's still in position, anticipating Nags coming around from A. Again, even at that point, even if he finds that, he's a million miles away from the execute towards B. KRÜ will actually pump the brakes here. We'll call a timeout. In the progress elsewhere now, Victor one away from the showstopper. FNS close to that lockdown. crashies still on that Hunter's Fury.
I hope the desk or someone, a stats wizard out here, can just tell me how many rounds on a full buy Envy have won out of these 8. Because it feels like so many of them...
I feel like they've got 4 thrifties now.
At bare minimum. Bare minimum, genuinely. So it's
first round, it was they converted the bonus as well, right?
Correct. So how many of these have been full buys? Now, I'm sure someone's been paying attention. The analysts aren't that far away. So do let me know, because I am truly... I don't think I've seen a game like this. Kind of, I don't know. It just feels weird.
See if... Again, I got to say, KRÜ, in terms of where they're stacking up, they're playing a little slower than Envy were on their defense. Again, yes, we know how often KRÜ were able to win out in those opening duels, but I don't know if that's they're leading, so they're a little more hesitant or cautious to give away an opening to Envy. To see if there's any real switch up here. Oh, look at that. Nags it straight away with the Blade Storm. Oh, yeah, just going to find... Look at that, FNS! Gets completely swept in Garage.
Well, public viewing to the execution there. FNS is just going to go down now. Waiting to see if Delzik got a hint of that. I don't think he has. He has to respond to other problems. Ye now making progress. Marved are taking great territory towards middle, and Victor's making a problem for himself. Gonna just put his body on the line. He's still gonna do some damage towards Kesnet, and this is a big problem. Now Marv comes online. Great swing from middle. Marv punishing those rotations perfectly. But Mazzino, he's been wild in these, but he can't be done this time. Marv finding it, and that mid play was just perfect. Envy finding a real response here.
But it's the timing as well. That showstopper gets popped, and I think already Marv has a pretty good idea that he's in the right place at the right time, and just freezes again. Waits for an audio cue, and actually waits for Nagzet to turn his back completely to resort back to rafters. Really, really well played there. And actually, it's going to reset KRÜ. Sheriffs across the board. With Bladestorm invested, I mean, they can't ride that out here. Nothing else really for them to fall back on. So, yes, the Hunter's Fury, but do you throw it out as a probe in the early round?
Well, I mean, according to every other round, this should be KRÜ's, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, this is a
KRÜ win.
They've just quadrupled their odds of winning this round.
For now, though, KRÜ are making a go of it. There it is again. Kesnet going to find one untraded and uncontested. We did have Ye get that first pick as well, though, so that's still maybe the gateway they need to springboard into this. It's very hard to hold those long lines of sight, and FNS should be the safety net. Should. And is. Little labored on the second and third. Love that, FNS. Let's go. Clean work. And there. 4 stay alive. And no more weird rounds for now.
The first time I think we're going to see Envy pull a buffer from a buy round here.
I'm nervous constantly with this now. KRÜ are so mad, though. They just find these crazy little picks, and then it spirals. It's just not like, okay, imagine FNS is not sat there. Then I get worried, because they'll probably still just find some way in.
Correct. I think that's the first time we've seen KRÜ test the waters. I guess maybe trying to get a feel for what the default looks like for Envy, because right there they're anticipating Envy to sit very deep and potentially, you know, greet them with lesser weaponry, trying to close the distance. This time, no real pressure towards B main. Both duelists for KRÜ. Nags actually on the screen here, the operator, and it's going to be Kesnet again to open things up.
Every time he goes for that, he is finding success time and time again. Punishment constantly, and then...
I spotted him. What?
I don't know. I mean, FNS had full faith that it would have if he was
Tommy
there.
Caught sleeping.
Yeah, Tommy's had a rough start to the day, right, mate? He needs his, you know, he'll get a Red Bull in him soon. 3 still stand for Envy, and the problem is these are barely deep into sights. These are just picked so deep on their first attempt towards A. Oh, yay! Come on, dude. Okay, maybe there's still a bit of wiggle room. crashies starting his probe towards that B site. On the other side, Mazzino would be waiting, who's been very solid at this, but easy to get overwhelmed here. Let's see how well he handles this. They had left towards that A site. That's a very good point. So they are going to be encroaching towards the site. Mazzino going to peel himself around towards the back side of things. Spots the first and crashies takes his head. Big trade though for Klaus, who started to lean over this way even after that yay pick towards middle. Kez though starts leaning through. Ultimate comes in. Marv, that positioning. He has been such a thorn in the side now.
Beautiful work here from Envy to flip this back and bring it to a 2v2. Klaus and Nagzet now forced to try and get something done here. See, Yay posted up though. Klaus going to have a hard time crossing. Actually, time getting in up here. I think this is to allow Nags to get into a position to contest Kitchen. I think that's where he's thinking Marved is playing here.
Remaining.
Yeah, textbook there. Do you know what? This round was beautiful as well, to have players in place to anticipate when that toxin's dropping, and then they pressure Mazzino. They know that he can't play yellow, he has to fall away, he has to play sight. He's forced to rely on his snakebite, right, to prevent the plant coming through. But the problem being, Marved in a perfect position to then counteract that.
Perfect. Again, I think this is one of the nicest rounds we've seen from Envy in my eyes, because as said, KRÜ got those first picks, and they were so deep, they had very little information. And that's why you're going to have so much brilliance from the likes of Yay coming out as well, finding that entry in middle, opening up space, punishing that way back in. So credit to Envy for that. It's probably one of the most convincing ones we've seen thus far.
Absolutely.
But now we look towards KRÜ. What sort of damage can you do with this? Because 11 now is starting to creep towards that 12. He's starting to get towards the end of things, the pointy end of the stick, isn't it? First attempt towards B long. Shows the weaker purchase, and Victor carries on forward.
Now only with a Guardian here, and I get something done. Yay actually will find the opener. Kesnet will be able to heal off the back of that, but Victor will charge him down. deltuc now left to try and do some damage on the way in, but no way he's going to be able to prevent this. And actually a very deep lockdown invested from FNS. That's to cut off basically everything towards Tube. This is really awkward. This is to force them to sight in the open line. I love this.
Yeah, that is actually really nice. It's given them some sort of access, but I don't seem to
don't follow up on it.
Yeah, that's...
Look at Marved.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
That one information call, but they've got no one to punish that mid-rotation. Unless they're going to let Marv just off the leash for a while, pause.
Viper's Pit invested here behind screen.
True.
That could be the end goal for Envy here, Lauren.
That's pretty big if they go for it. Because for KRÜ, they've got to be going, oh, this feels weird.
I mean, if they give away another kill, again, KRÜ on lesser weaponry here. The Sheriff, Spectre.
FNS should win this. He doesn't.
What?
Mazzino's somehow got himself in with a shot on that one. That's going to be a rifle upgrade too, I'm pretty sure. So there's problems galore now starting to build. And this Marv position, we were theory crafting what he could do with this, but he hasn't opted for the choice. We thought, there it is now. There we go.
Now, KRÜ have to make their numbers count. Crashies with the Hunter's Fury. He's playing deep all the way towards spawn here. The safety net for Envy in this round. Victor going to be taking first contact in front of 410. Kesnet will fall. Mazzino too.
Nagzet and deltuc, the last two. deltuc connects a belter towards Marv, but Victor's still there. Still holding things on for Envy, who make it to 12. KRÜ made it dangerous, and there were moments there. That fight in middle, I thought could have spiraled differently.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if FNS wins that, at that point, yeah, Marv never considers the Viper's Pit. And then again, there's that awkward bit where it's like, should I? They're not on a full purchase. When the res comes through, again, it's whether or not they can recover a weapon on the back of that, or they have anything to fight back into that round. So, Envy will actually come onto map point here. Hunter's Fury, Showstopper available. Two big ultimates, but Nagzet got that operator online. Nothing else available for KRÜ, though. And Envy stacked up. Potentially to make a fast hit toward V here. Mazzino going to be called upon.
There it is, Victor, first man forward. Puts life on the line for it, but Yay has found Nags. Oh, it's blind, and he still gets it. Yay is slicing them in half as well. Kesnet did get the trade, but by now the damage is done. It's down to 2. deltuc and Kesnet, the last two standing, and they're pushing CT. I love this aggression. Take that space. They have the numbers for favorable trades, but deltuc refusing to relent. A 1v2 presented is not easy, though. Post-plant against that ult in the hands of Crashies too. He's going to have to do something almost unbelievable at this point. He knows he's in trouble. Taps
the
it.
nano swarm.
The nano swarm time just being drawn and drawn away. This is not looking good for deltuc. He knows it. He's trying to get through every piece of utility, and crashies to close down at 13-9.
A beautiful recovery from Envy, honestly. I mean, KRÜ looked in the driving seat for so much of that match, and actually when Envy were able to kind of fix their mistakes, again, yes, we can credit the thrifty rounds, but it's never good to rely on, you know, resorting to that sort of pace and that sort of scrappiness.
Just at the back of them, and it's just crazy to see them hyped up. But still, didn't take them out. Let's see how they do in Ascent now.
Yeah, let's see how they do, because I'm sure they've conserved some energy for this map as well. Moving on to Ascent here. We spoke about it a little bit in the pre-match, but Sean, you know, both teams, they like to play their comfort picks here. I feel like they're both relatively comfortable. You know, Envy have had some great results here, but what are you expecting?
Yeah, I'm expecting to see the same kind of domination coming out of I think Marved, maybe Lucky in the Astra here could be a big change for Envy. I love his Astra these days. I think he's progressed so much as a player since being under FNS, particularly in that role on Astra.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I really like when teams implement the Astra onto their squads. I feel like this is a map where KRÜ won the other day.
I look towards Victor purely being that supporting role for who had a fiery start on the first map. So, I'm hoping to see that success repeated.
So I mean, somewhat disagreeing with what Sean said, where, you know, NA sort of Sky is a little bit more duelist-esque.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
I see. Fair enough. We play. Does the fence hurt when you sit on it?
We'll wait and see what Victor does.
I'm with you. I'm with you. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out, because I like a bit of both. If he can work that fine line,
finding the balance,
it would be wonderful. But for now, KRÜ not normally one to be dictated to when it comes to pace. We'll have to see how this works out. Again, highlighting a couple of things. That KJ setup was working wonders previously. See if it translates here. Envy. Tommy's been beefing up. He's happy. And and the rest of the boys taking fast mid control.
Have to force their way through here, actually. There's 3 members of KRÜ who are over to B site already. Naxa can find Victor on the way through, though. Crashies good for the trade. Crashies finds another one.
Yeah, crashies is just deep in CT, and KRÜ are like, no, you're meant to be fighting us, but FNS holding that push back through crashies. What a sick round from this man. 2 big kills towards CT, spins around, catches the player on the stairs, and deltuc has been pinned in here. He's got his number. Envy with a belting start, and what an unorthodox round. Rather than focusing on the site, transitioning through towards CT.
Absolutely, and taking full control of market, and actually in no man's land towards heaven on A to actually find that final kill.
Yo, that first kill was nuts. It was boathouse. I thought it was both in CT.
One enemy remaining.
Let's go,
But probably again, FNS unnoted to this point as well, other than when he first appeared in B main. So really, really nice round from Envy. Actually, an indicator of potentially the pace that they might try and pick up once again here. So that was a fast pistol round.
I mean, I saw Victor ahead of so I don't know what we were at. I don't know, man. You see Victor just full send. At this point, Marv, though, going to clean up towards Kesner as they do try and push out a little bit here. That probably, again, I think we've got our answer here.
Yeah, I think we do. I think we do.
How do we feel?
Can we get a Sean Pov up on the screen? But
don't tempt production. They'll get all excited. Oh, can we do it? At this point, a little ambitious on the self pop flash around. Look, if it works, it works. It didn't that time. However, we've seen plenty of danger in these eco rounds. These anti-ecos have been scary for both sides, and it's been a bit weird. It's a little unorthodox, a little out of sorts, but only 3 remain. Now, how many tags have we done? I guess FNS is low enough to actually be potentially picked off by any of these weapons now, so that does become maybe a bit of a threat, but no, kept in check, at least for now, by Marved.
See Naxa and deltuc left to find something left on this, actually. Look at that, Will fall, actually. So the classic, but Marved in position to find him on the cross, and Envy find the second. 3 weapons carried across. I think back, actually, map 1, they did convert the third. It was on the next that they actually fell short. That's when things got a little weird in terms of the economy and that rhythm of the game that we're used to. So see if Envy can get anything done here. Nowhere near the Blade Storm. No. Slower start this time around, but expect him to be the one to just dash inside of smoke, and maybe not looking for those kills, actually creating space for Victor actually on that role to follow up.
Him following up? Interesting. Well, we'll see. Kesnet, Naxa, all starting to get a little aggressive. Not by massive means, but not particularly sick. And Nags,
That's bold.
that's a bit dangerous. I really didn't expect him to kind of play that deep towards middle. I thought he might show a little presence on short or something, but no, happy to linger around. And now we wait and see. It does seem as though they are starting a little bit of a slow build towards A as well. Just saw the dog invested coming out there from Victor.
Envy's spread very thin here, actually. FNS outside A main, and Victor actually trying to gather some information on the way in.
Right here.
With his utility, but nothing noted, I don't think. Again, KRÜ playing deep enough where they weren't flashed, they weren't spotted by the Tiger either. And Envy will now drift into B main. Tommy will be called upon.
Zeno's in such a tough
Oh, it's a
spot
big
here.
tag with the recon bolt.
That's lovely work coming out. Klaus really helping that out. Can at least dissuade that approach for now. Envy looking for another option.
Initially, it did draw this rotation. You see Nags now heading back towards A. Originally, there were 3 players committed here. Envy about to walk right into the heavier side of the stack.
Hot flash comes out. Does well. Not well enough to swing on. Kesnet has to fall back from that. Now Tree's been somewhat given over, but there's the swing out. Delzik, great positioning, but the cubby is tricky to get more than one from, and they've actually drifted away. So pulled rotations, then going to go for the hit off the back. I think FNS took some space towards it. Mazzino was towards side, on towards stairs. Yay now, catching rotations. 1, looks for a 2, not going to happen. Delzik, good spacing on this for KRÜ. Still able to keep themselves working back in. This is still doable. A 2v2.
Public divide as well, actually. Crash is going to send a shock dart in. That's
Crashy?
do a lot of... What? Nags are just drifting ahead there.
Yeah. I'm surprised Crashy's got rewarded for that, honestly. Yeah. Like, he was just, yeah, okay, if you're going to come into my crosshair, fair enough.
Well, I mean, that's it. Now with the Cosmic Divide going up, Delzik got to reconsider his approach, and now actually a considerable amount of time eaten away with just that engagement, looking as if he's going to opt to try and hold on to this weapon. He will back away. So marved and crashies. Will they catch on across? No, Delzik not even going to entertain it. So interesting there, but Envy pulling one way and the other. There's a term we have for that, right?
Double pump?
I think that's the one, actually.
Yeah, double pump.
Envy pumping KRÜ. All over the map.
Yeah, kind of curious if it's off the back of the information that FNS found there. I do remember him at the start of the round kind of peeling off as they were kind of leaning towards that A side as they would up cat. He was kind of still a little bit of a look towards middle, but yeah, some
it's
interesting rotations.
It's just on the back of Delzik showing as well. I don't think anything else, is, other than the flash initially from Kesnet, there's still a third player unnoted there. So Envy actually over-anticipate. It's still getting it right, but they're able to come back and find that 3v1. Yay, playing that perfect spot deep towards market.
Nags was the only one with the rifle this round, so he has to be the influence in this, and he is already. Nags are going to find 2. Maybe kind of they were lured in, baited in by just hearing those pistols, those sheriffs going off, and Crashy shuts him down. Yeah, that was just for lunch, dinner, and hey, make it breakfast the next morning. Now a 3v3, but the problem is that rifle, I don't know how recoverable that would be for maybe Kesnet, if he could maybe siphon that away. He has, so at least there's something here. But again, little armor, already tagged up, damage. This should be Envy converting, but FNS starting to make his little bit of a look towards middle, finds him completely unawares. Kesnet did not expect that little slight aggression from FNS.
Klaus and Delzik forced to fight their way back in. Actually, Klaus will find an upgrade.
Spike planted.
Delzik looking to challenge Crashies in B main. Hunter's Fury available, so again, a decent enough read from KRÜ, but Crashies not happy about that one.
Do you think his mouse got stuck?
Yeah. Incoming tech pause?
Maybe.
Mouse 1 is stuck, that's concerning.
Yeah, I really hope we see a tech pause off that. I hope Crashies is okay.
He's 8-0, so I think he's
doing
all
right.
Yeah, for a broken mouse, actually.
That's really impressive.
Yeah.
No, this was the one.
Actually ate this.
Oh, it just takes the wind out of you, doesn't it? There's a follow-up. Now, they cut the audio from that. I think that was really a nice attempt, guys.
Yeah, great round. Good stuff.
Nags it though. This guy's still not afraid to take these aggressive peeks. I like what he's trying to do. And I mean, on Icebox, it kind of looked pretty scary for a while, but it's after that, Envy was still converting these rounds with 4 players, even down to 3 sometimes. So I'm waiting to see that next layer from KRÜ to be able to convert them. Now they have the player advantage.
Nags it will peel away. Yeah, Envy happy to to sit tight for the time being again. I mean, their ability in previous rounds to pull these rotations. I think they're expecting maybe a peak from mid towards market, but yeah, Klaus actually posted with an Odin. I'm sure Mitch is smiling backstage. Big Klaus fan. Envy here. Yeah, he's just fishing for that utility, and it still goes off. The alarm bot will reveal their position. Actually, Mazzino closes the door. They'll commit to site here. Nagza actually going to pick up the slack with the operator. Again, Envy very cautious here. KRÜ not giving anything away though, Lauren.
No, I like this patience now being shown by KRÜ.
Destroyed.
Oh, yes. Ooh, he's still committed. He still went through. Marved. Gets jcstani, and now this is a problem. Jay's going to spot this cross. Knows that they're now leaning this way. Do they now reaggress back towards B? Maybe a little bit of information, but this is late in the day. Any problems is now going to start going wrong. Nagzet's going to find Ye, but look at Mazzino's position. It's filthy. He's going to hold that cross. The site's his. KRÜ are finally on the board.
And deltuc finding FNS there. The timing is perfect now. Again, they can read that situation perfectly. They anticipate that's the lurk. That's the flank control right there. So straight away, Nagzet comes back, picks up that position once again. Actually gets the better of Ye with the operator. You're right, again, to still be playing like this in the early rounds, considering it being a brawl on Icebox. Yes, I feel like KRÜ are able to find some impact openings, but it's important to note Victor's adjustment here. Again, we haven't really seen any rounds yet where Envy are able to employ him effectively.
No, he's been pretty much shut down at this point. Nagzet again, still making deeper pushes, and I guess that is going to alleviate the rest of the players who are on 8. Ye though, swiftly making his way through. This is just, they found a space and they're exploiting it. Middle has been a problem to hold for KRÜ. Now again, short. This time deltuc, it works out well for him. Denies Victor, who's not really, as said, found much form yet on that Sky. Struggling a little. But half of the map is now basically as a no entry sign. We're looking towards B here. Pops the old Klaus. Oh dear. How are you going to dodge this? With ease, apparently. Klaus is just fine, but the KJ ult has come in as well.
It's way ahead of the beat, actually. Mazzino pops this all the way in spawn. Only really cuts off the walkout from B main. And market. So invested. Also there's crowd control here, but no follow-up. No real territory gained off that. No. Like I said, it was way ahead of that execute, so...
30 seconds left.
Yeah, actually hopping up there.
Mazzino just found FNS on the cross-in anyway, but Marv did remove Klaus from sight, but we know that there's still a player here. crashies goes, no, I won't get you on the first try. I'll come back around. Just hold on. I'll be back there in a second. He gets him. 3v2, Nagzet and deltuc. Now, deltuc was noted earlier, but he's already towards CT, but Ye's got the cross. Now, this cross is harder anyway, but Ye's starting to warm up here. We're starting to see that El Diablo come online. It's a brave position. Can only be held for so long. Keep in mind, market is going to become a problem. He knows it. There is a tiny bit of time he gets to work in, and that's a shot and a half towards Nagzet. And now the follow-up. Yeah, he's just showing off now. He's starting to feel himself, starting to feel a little warmed up in this game. A lovely, lovely round from Envy.
A 5-1 lead, actually, and KRÜ, they're going to be struggling here. I mean, talk about Victor, Klaus and jcstani yet to get on the board as well, who... Again, don't necessarily have slow, but look at this, the timing of Ye getting into market. Exactly. This is the point where potentially we look towards, I mean, we talked about on Icebox, KRÜ looking to get a little more proactive. It's only really Nagzet being the one to swing early round, and then he's sitting back very deep. KRÜ don't then want to follow up on that first blood or even the mid control gained on the back of it.
Yeah. Now Envy have the run of this house. See what Nagzet can do, but again, they are still able to get entries. It looks like they're trying to address this mid-piece maybe that's been coming through being a problem. I do want that to be something they do address quickly because they've been punished on rotation so often. You've seen FNS up middle, you've seen Ye up middle, they've been trying to get there, and they do, more often than not. So, as it stands, KRÜ, have a little bit of different pace coming into this. Nagzet, maybe off the back of that flash, takes a little look, spots one. There's a second. It's Ye. That's the next layer of the issue. You're going to watch one of these angles. Don't double down on Ye right now. Oh no, and Klaus, this could be lamb to the slaughter, or maybe just silencing everyone else. Klaus! Huge 3 kills, but the problem is, does this get converted again? We still see KRÜ clutching at these straws, and they get so close. But it's still 5-1, and it's still a 2v1.
Cosmic Divide available. Marved is down to 10 HP. Crashies going to resort to site. Marved playing a very cheeky spot here.
He kind of has to. One and done, 10 HP.
Yeah, exactly.
It's called for.
Really good stuff from Envy now. And 6-1, like I said, financial struggles. Axel not even been able to afford a weapon. They're obviously riding the Blade Storm through. And now I think they're going to be suffering on the back of that.
And I think that round, again, characterizes some of the issues we've seen throughout this. The crew will pull off those insane 3Ks. They'll get the perfect entries on the start, or they'll get, you know, those first picks, first bloods. But then it's the conversion off the back. Those 3 kills were great, but then you're left in a 2v1. You've still got a post plant with really comfortable positioning on the back. It's just, they're not catching a break on this. They can't convert that final piece of it.
I got to say, and this is where we start to question kind of the fundamentals on the side of crew there. Ye finds the first kill. Kesnet fully dry, swings out.
Wide swings.
And like 3 seconds later to try and trade that, and it's like...
That's a dream for Ye.
Yeah.
He's out there just like, not perfect.
If anything, double swing it.
If you're going to.
Yeah, and again, I understand this a little deeper. They want to play off that flash, but again, there was no audible cue off that. It didn't flash anybody, so Maxit almost overstays his welcome there to even try and find that kill.
Yeah, and you can see the coaches having a chat. And I think that a lot of the things we're noticing clearly will be being talked through. A couple of issues now. They got to get a grip on it. It's starting to spiral. And we've seen it. A confident Envy is the scariest kind of Envy, right? And they've had a shaky start here and there. They probably aren't at that full peak confidence yet. I don't think so, at least. And I think when we see that, that's when they start being very, very hard to handle. However, they're slowly building towards it. At 6-1, you're going to start believing in it.
Well, and this is the round where really things feel as if they can snowball.
Yeah.
Again,
Placing
have
sentry.
sheriffs invested. Nags it with a scope, but ultimates available. Hunter's Fury, the Seekers, and the Cosmic Divide still up. Actually, deltuc been sitting on that for a while now. On the other side, FNS lockdown available. Nags it again, happy to come out and play here, look for something in the early round, but I think now Envy may be going to be in a bit more control. I feel as if their crew are going to be happy to throw bodies into finding that first blood.
Yeah, I still want them to stay clean in their anti-ecos, or I guess against a force buy here. You do have, I guess, a Shiko and a Marshall. Yeah, he does get tagged off this. Crashies in the meantime did find deltuc. So again, progressing towards the site is the more important thing, the more imperative part of this, and Crashies has done excellent at that. Yeah, even catching Nagset again on that, trying to re-aggress down middle. It's like, buddy, no. Let's do it. Zeno found towards deep side, and now Klaus, what, a 1v5? Nah, not gonna happen. Envy, that's much better. Prime Gaming flawless, really to characterize something we've been looking for. Clean anti-ecos from either side. Trying to make sure they keep this one in check, and as I said, I love that Crashies was just slowly, methodically working through the site. Cleanly just working his way through here. You can see it. Lovely work from him there, and the follow-up not too far off the back either. Little flash, but just fine. Swings it out in combination.
One enemy
Again, it's again with Ye kind of opting
It's over. I'm in the...
to see obviously this adjustment here. Ye sitting on the operator in so many rounds. It relies on Crashies and Victor to kind of be the information gatherers. Obviously FNS out elsewhere and in that lurking role. Nags it again though. Look at him drifting forward. The owl drone force him back. Stops any further aggression coming through, but Crash is doing a fantastic job so far, Lauren, of being the one to lead some of these pushes.
And look at it again, now they're looking elsewhere. The op's been noted towards one side. Ye quickly takes down Mazzino, and now they're going to be looking towards the site. Can anything stop them? deltuc this time. You did it once before and got away with it twice. Not going to happen. High flash comes out. God. Victor, that's the sky we want to see in his hands. And now the last two. Nags already got noted, and I think Klaus did as well at the start, so they kind of know where these players are. Nags, though, does at least find Crashies, but that was, you know, a little ambitious.
Look good coming around the corner, though. I think Nagset and Klaus, fairly obvious. I'm going to try and sit back here. FNS and Marved, actually, going to make their way through tiles and maybe see if they can catch him off here. Again, it would be big. This is the point with a round like this, you want to punish the economy. Envy stack on, I mean, a ridiculous amount. Ye been able to hold this operator, I think, since the second purchase here. A little bit of damage goes through. Victor goes for the wallbang. FNS will find one. Klaus, the last one remaining, will actually remove the operator.
don't know what money's like. It should be okay. I thought it was a little lower. It caught my eye a couple of times, but
I think at this point, I mean, they can still throw something into most of these rounds.
Yep. Oh, did I? Kesnet, you sitting on the nest egg? I think he's on 0. I'm not 100% sure. Skies are having a rough game today.
Wipe the scoreboard real quick. I'll leave that one up there for a while.
The tab key's not working. We can't show it. Ooh.
It's to him. Klaus on a rifle. Sheriff's elsewhere. I was talking about snowballing. It's already well underway. Again, Envy still have some huge tools to use when they see fit.
Yeah, Mully's just fine. Ops back out for Yay. He's all good. Nagze's been doing this consistently. I don't think you can be surprised if you're Envy, and their turret's already going to give away that Nagze was once again testing this approach. Try to peek on the other side, but a stack towards A here. Now, maybe a bit of adjustment. Bear in mind that crashies and marved had lots of success slowly working this, but the flash tells it good work on marved. Popping the ult to follow, crashies has to do the dance. They both avoid most of it. They at least don't lose life, but 70 HP is what they get to walk away with.
Both will get healed up, though, by Victor. So that ultimate all but negated here. The thing is now they've burnt it, so FNS can actually lean back on his lockdown, should they choose to execute towards A here. It's looking like that might be the end goal. Nags it with that scope up in heaven. Here we go. Lockdown comes through. It's going to force KRÜ out here. Yay will actually find a kill. The Owl Drone will spot Nags it.
30 seconds.
Gotta get out of there.
So choreographed. It's so well done, Hypok. All of this is so beautifully put together. Every piece considered. Flash on the way back through, but the ult's still in play, and Victor's still watching it. Good flash connection that time. Ye's going to keep himself safe. Response back and forth, neither able to capitalize off the back of these flashes, as Victor will wait below, has the dirty angle to play with, swing from FNS if needed, and he goes up for it. Victor with a double, making up for a slower start and a good attempt from Klaus, but another for Envy.
And again, the damage doesn't really matter at this point to Envy, and again, discipline to only throw a couple of ultimates into that. I mean, as soon as the Hunter's Fury comes out, you can see FNS drifts towards A. They know they have pretty much a guaranteed entry, or at least they can isolate that one player that is still playing on site, especially with Ye finding that kill. Yep. Onshore creates that opening. They don't have that second issue, which is there somebody sitting in tree? Is there somebody going to be watching window? Really, really good stuff by Envy. KRÜ back on a full purchase. They call a timeout once again, and I think conversely, what we were expecting out of KRÜ, it was Envy that kind of pushed the tempo a little bit after the previous.
And why not? I mean, it's the most annoying thing that when you call tactical timeouts, you come up with that adjusted plan, that then being the opponent, you go, well, let's just go aggressive because they have only so many rounds to work with, so why not just throw a curveball? Because they can't then do the approach that they'd theory crafted. Exactly.
At this point, you got to think, let's throw something out there, see what sticks, because, I mean, even if you come through with the last two, well, I hope it doesn't end 9-3. It's a little cursed, actually.
I've heard that.
Yeah. Rumor has it.
It's the goal. Get to 9-3. We'll see. See if the curse holds true.
If all else fails, finish 9-3. It's still winnable.
Truly. And they've got a decent purchase for it. Probably why the timeout was called, just to make sure they have that plan in mind. It gives them a couple more options, and maybe just to talk through something they want to address. It's been a couple of looks out of Envy that have been hard to handle. You know, the mid control they've been able to exploit a fair amount, and you know, consistently punishing those rotations. The good work from crashies, I think it was Marved, working towards A, and mostly doing pretty well off the back. Again, the pressure then, the second layer of Yay coming up short. A lot's been going right for Envy. KRÜ, I want to see what they address it with. Okay, Yay, little jump spot at the start. Now it's gonna be our battle count to 3. Pull the trigger? No, just fine. He'll wait it out. We're forced into a bit of a corner now, as well, towards B main. As you know, beautiful shot. Klaus did have his back as well, so a 2-for-1 trade, but there's Ye again. Punishing Nagzit, pound for pound. Ye has had his number, reading this over aggression and the willingness to fight, and taming it almost instantly.
That is textbook jet death, honestly. Has excelled here on a send. Kesnet will
flash.
try and flash through, will find a good connection. FNS will fall, but the Seekers will reveal exactly where Kesnet is playing. And actually, second noting, you can see the ping come up on the minimap here, so Envy going to try and find this 2v1 quickly. Victor needs to be the one to lead the charge here.
Maybe just keeping themselves within trade range. Close flash, but he's going to be on the corner. The timing's awful. Ye gets cornered. deltuc, what an angle! Individual prowess from deltuc right there.
Yeah. And holds down the fort, and the timing pretty much perfect there, but I feel as if Victor needs to be the one to be decisive. And again, it's awkward. There's a little bit of space between you and Ye. Ye's got an operator, so ultimately it's not as if he can full-on swing the trade 2 or 3 seconds later, but I feel as if Victor needs to go through. He has both of his flashes. He still has the Tiger, I'm pretty sure, as well, to clear that out. So potential really to prevent dephh from being in that one spot that breaks down that audible.
I'll find them.
Maybe 9-3.
I don't want to read any social media if that's the case. I'm going dark.
Yeah, made me laugh like Jimmy Carr. That's always going to go well. Nags it. Going to be forced away. Yeah, Victor this time checking on deltuc, he's been really good with these little angles, little ratty plays. Like, he's been finding bits of work for him, but not this time.
Well, they tried to work around him getting into wine in the previous round. I think it was noted, and Envy were just like, we don't want to mess with it. So it's good to see Envy just immediately address that and relinquish kind of that control.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Ooh, crashies, any info for it? A little. Just one.
Enough.
Just
enough to pop it.
Pops the ult. Now, Zino's been tagged on that as well, down to 45. He did have that jet by his side, so the op's still in play here. So don't get overly confident, crashies. You got some problems around that corner.
Well, similar situation now. The Hunter's Fury burned up. Mazino can actually sit on the lockdown as a retake tool. If Envy decide to end up on 8.
Oh, but this could be such a misread. Klaus could call this, and they're going to sit here with some sort of conviction.
Look at
because look at the mid control on the way back in, though.
They're through market.
So again, this is going to be such a weird round because, I guess, conflicting assignments, right? So they've taken what they need. B's going to be theirs. The retake's going to be a bit weird.
Left.
Now, again, we look at middle. This now swings. The pendulum goes the other way around. You've got to look towards, who would that be? Victor, I guess, sitting on the other side of this. Has to find this frag. Nags it, checks it, but not well enough. Victor will be the victor in that. Flash to follow, he knows there's more on shore. Klaus, though, that position was the one that could have been the curveball. Double flash doesn't come in, he's blind, but not blind. No, Victor!
My word.
Unbelievable work from Victor, he wanted more, he was feeling himself, but Klaus will tame that. But now Klaus has 3 more to go through. Make it just 2. Klaus, how much more? 37 HP in a dream. He's gonna hear, he knows they're getting close, and they play it together.
Beautifully done there, Victor. Literally holding down the fort to prevent that rotation coming through. And I think actually in that scenario, the only feasible thing for KRÜ to do is to retake mid. Obviously, Klaus has that control over in B main. And actually the lockdown coming through, and ultimately Mazino needs to get to Klaus, right? So Victor in the perfect position to prevent the very thing. It's so difficult for them to come through from spawn, try to use that lockdown on switch. And it takes so much time.
Yeah, it's a lot went right for Envy in that half. I think this is the Envy I've been looking to see. For KRÜ though, a couple of the things that stood out to us still line up. A couple of those entry kills, a couple of the bits and pieces, a couple of the individuals look great, but it's just not enough, it feels like, at the moment.
No, and again, we talk about kind of repeating successes from map 1 and how sustainable that sort of play style is. On the half of KRÜ, I got to say, there isn't the framework in place around Nagzet. Nagzet's been trying. I mean, through all the faults of KRÜ, Nagzet has been trying his heart out.
And just breaking hearts is Ye. Straight on the other side, just drags him down. Not going to have it. Falls deeper away, gives up the angle on short. KRÜ will get a little bit of territory, but at the loss of Nagzet now.
Yeah. I think now KRÜ going to reconsider. Lambot will give this away. Still 2 players of Envy committed towards B. It'll be Marved and FNS to hold this down. Kesnet actually gets the better of Ye there. FNS going to be proactive here, will swing through. dephh in position to greet him though.
Yeah, okay. This isn't bad. This is punishing Envy, maybe over-aggressing in some ways there. But Marv's still on site. Going to isolate one, there's 2 more to follow.
Oh my God!
He lines him up and knocks him down. That's 2 big kills. And suddenly, we go back into Envy having favor, and Klaus could not have seen a thing.
It's just so disjointed and weird and back and forth, but Envy's ability to stabilize in some of these rounds where I need a counter on the number of times KRÜ draw first blood.
And they still get turned around.
Or equalize a man advantage and then find a second and still lose the round. Marved here, the second is literally gifted. Kesnet, no idea what's even going on there.
Actually nuts. Actually nuts. And dude, if this builds Envy's confidence further, a game like this, game on, that group becomes a little bit more tricky. But now, though, we jump back in. Victor just puts his body on the line, holds down Mouse One, has to get back. Crashies, though. He's picking it up. He's still going to push forward to them. They've got Stingers, they've got Spectres, they've got anything that they could. Yeah, he's now made his appearance. Say goodnight. Genghsta does what he can, but Envy knows this is their game. 12-2 now.
And the difference here, backs against the ropes, they know that they can just bully KRÜ in the early rounds here. Now, 12-2. Envy on the brink of closing out map 2 in convincing fashion. So what have we got to work with here for KRÜ? SMGs, Klaus with a Sheriff, and a Bulldog.
Turret out.
We've got the Guardians out. FNS and Ye both opting for Guardians. All but a formality at this point. Envy have just been in total control of this second map. Again, Victor looking to come through the recon bolt. Will ping 2. Again, we will hold the line for the time being. As Ye's got himself tucked into Wine. We'll drift away and potentially try and greet KRÜ in mid. Yeah, he actually pulls away from it again. Actually timed off the owl drone as well. Again, it's eating up so much time. Again, the flash is perfect,
Victor.
actually, from Victor.
Here he comes.
Even better.
Straight out flash, though. They both having to respect it to an extent. Victor does come out of it first, but gets it. Yay.
It's Ye over the top, of course.
Yay, it's so early. It's not even gone past 6. Yay, stop! You've got families, dude. And now Ye just going to carry on forward. Ye wants this over and done with. He wants them dead and buried. Nags, is he already thinking that Nags might be here? Yeah, all right. Ye's on it today.
Okay.
Not bad. Nags still got some fire in him. 2v2. Oh, it's laboured.
Okay.
That's not going in the frag movie.
No.
30 seconds
I don't think we'll
left.
see that one in the post-game highlights, but nags it. We'll recover the spike here. FNS will tap it out. Envy 13-2 KRÜ Esports here on Ascent in convincing fashion. Barely breaking a sweat.
Yeah.
You've got to call it out again. Yay. 2 fantastic performances from him individually.
For a team so coordinated in the server, we've got to work on those high fives there. We need to get that down. We need to get that down pat.
About 2 yards off for that one.
But genuinely, I think credit here where credit is due. Envy have had some shaky icebox games, but their recovery has been great. We've seen those individual